After her husband's death, Leah and her daughter Juliet moved to Nice to live with a man whom they instinctively distrusted. The abuse they endured there nearly led to tragic outcomes. This heartfelt narrative reveals how Juliet ended up at an elderly man's home and what transformative discovery she made in his barn. While Leah was cooking dinner, Juliet was playing in the living room. Wondering about her father's lateness, Juliet questioned when he would be home. Leah urged patience, mentioning he was tied up with a crucial project. Yet, the father never came home. Leah struggled to maintain composure, her anxiety mounting. Suddenly, the phone rang, and a terrified Leah answered it. Juliet hoped it was her dad on the line, but instead, she witnessed her mother dissolve into tears. The call was from her boss, delivering the harrowing news that Peter had died in an accident at the car factory, falling from a 10-meter scaffold because he couldn't grasp the safety cable. Peter's funeral profoundly impacted Juliet. She saw guilt in his colleagues' eyes, the despair among friends, and the oppressive silence from Leah. Juliet needed time to come to terms with her father's death. In his absence, Leah and Juliet grappled with financial challenges. Leah did her best to provide, but their limited income forced them to subsist on the very basics. Leah encountered Jules, an older man who caught her interest. He suggested that she move to Nice, where he had employment and a residence. Lacking better options, Leah agreed, moving there with Juliet and their belongings. Once settled at Jules, they uncovered his secret alcoholism. Though Jules had not disclosed his drinking problem, it became apparent to Leah as they lived together in Nice. The situation deteriorated as Jules became abusive when intoxicated, harming both Leah and occasionally Juliet. Growing up in this environment, Juliet became reserved and timid, yet she was aware of the looming consequences. The ongoing abuse took a toll on Leah's health. Following a heated argument, Leah suffered a heart attack that proved fatal, leaving Juliet alone with Jules, a man who was becoming increasingly dangerous. With Leah gone, Jules' drinking escalated, further complicating Juliet's life. She endured 3 years of this torment, feeling trapped and unsure how to alter her dire circumstances. Juliet had prepared a backpack to escape, yet she had no clear destination and feared the repercussions from authorities. As Jules' behavior grew more threatening, a desperate Juliet confided in her friend Camille, who offered to help. One distressing afternoon, Jules, heavily intoxicated, became violent and stormed into Juliet's room. She evaded and Jules stumbled, breaking his nose. Juliet escaped and was rescued by Camille. Realizing she needed to support herself, Juliet searched for a job and eventually secured a position as a receptionist at a restaurant. Though the pay was modest, it was a beginning, and she quickly made a positive impression. Guillaume, a student at a prestigious university, was captivated by Juliet, the restaurant's new hire. They began a relationship, but Guillaume's father disapproved due to social differences and Juliet's lack of family support. When Juliet became pregnant, they shared the news with the family. Hoping the baby would bring them closer, she moved in with Guillaume. However, the relationship deteriorated further after their daughter Emily was born. Over the next 3 years, tensions continued. Guillaume completed his education, landed a job at a major company, and left Emily's care primarily to Juliet. She faced criticism and harsh comments from her father-in-law, who even doubted Emily's paternity. Juliet dedicated her spare time to her daughter. But upon discovering Guillaume's affair with his boss, she decided to leave with Emily and go back to her friend Camille. Camille took them in but made it clear that they couldn't stay indefinitely. With a baby to care for and in need of financial security, Juliet resumed her job as a receptionist at the restaurant where she previously worked. As a new mother, balancing work and caring for Emily proved challenging. One day, a seemingly intoxicated man named Olivier entered the restaurant and suddenly collapsed. Juliet acted swiftly, calling an ambulance and saving his life. Grateful for her actions, Olivier, after learning about her situation, offered his house as temporary accommodation for Juliet and Emily, noting their lack of family support. Juliet accepted his generous offer and moved into his home with Emily. 3 months later, Olivier became ill again and, before being hospitalized, he disclosed to Juliet the existence of a box in his basement. Facing Olivier's expensive surgery, Juliet inspected the box and discovered raw diamonds, sufficient to cover the medical expenses. She learned that Olivier had acquired these diamonds from his missing son and believed them to be cursed. Yet, these diamonds offered Olivier a renewed opportunity for life. He became the caring grandfather figure Emily needed and a supportive presence for Juliet. Ultimately, despite numerous hardships, they found happiness and companionship in each other's company. I am sure you have enjoyed this story. Give us a like on the video, subscribe and check out the next video suggested on your screen for more emotional stories.